Okay. So I'm 25. I still live at home. I don't have a graduate job. I don't drive yet. I'm still getting acne. Am I a bum? I don't know. I don't personally think that I am, so that's sort of the short answer to the question. Obviously I'm going to say that though because it's me, but I really wanted to make this video because I've only got 4 months of being 25 left. So I turned 25 last year in November, and before my birthday I was so anxious. Like, I really didn't want to be 25. I didn't want to get older, and I felt like 25 was such a big age and I didn't have like any of these things accomplished that I thought I would have had by this age. But it's them 3 main things, right? So living at home, not having a graduate job, not driving, they're like the 3 things that I thought I would have had like in the bank by now, but it's just not happened, and that's fine. The reason that I want to do this video is because when I did turn 25 I thought it would be such a good idea to document like the whole year of being 25 and like the process and navigating like my life through being 25, and like the the social stigma that you have around it, and a lot of people place around being that age, and sort of like the social expectations. But what I have learned is there aren't any rules really to life, and there aren't any like time frames to when you should do things. You know, listening to a lot of life coaches, and there's a lot of life coaches on Instagram now, and a lot of like these memes that go around that, you know, sort of tell you that there's no age limit for anything and you do things when it happens for you and when it's right for you. So I have sort of gotten out of the mindset now of thinking, oh shit, I'm 25 and I've not got these things. But saying that, I am actively working towards these things that I see for myself as being like a possibility in the near future. So at the moment I'm taking driving lessons, and that is another series that I want to start doing. So learning to drive at 25, and like how that's been going for me. So I've just actually had a driving lesson today, so after this video I'm going to make another video talking about that. But that's going well. Obviously with the coronavirus situation I couldn't actually take a lesson for like a good 4 months, so I've only just started back up again this last couple of weeks. But they've been going really good, so I do envision myself driving definitely by the start of next year. Me and my partner are also saving up to hopefully get a mortgage by the start of next year as well. But again, with the coronavirus situation, we've not actually been able to save as much as we wanted to, so that might not be a possibility. But saying that, either way we're going to be moving out at the start of next year, so that's really exciting as well. But I mean, like, moving out in this day and age, renting, and if you've got a home, if you've got a room at your parents' house and it's fine, it's a good setup, then why not stay at home for a bit longer, save some money, and then move out or do whatever you want to do. Like, it's really not a big deal. So that's one of the things out of like the main 3 that I'm just like, oh, it's fine, like I'm at home, it's okay, it's whatever. But saying that, at the same time, like, I graduated university 3 years ago, so it's been practically more or less 3 years being at home now. I did have a stint living in Thailand for like 3 months, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, I mean, when I first moved back from university it was really hard. It just like coming home, you know what it's like if you've ever moved out and then you've moved back home, it's just a weird sort of dynamic for you because you've been used to sort of perusing around and doing whatever you want and not having to like tell your mum if you're going to stay out or what time you're going to be home and all this shit. So that was difficult at first, but I got back into it quite. It's not all that bad, but I'd say like if it's something that you really hate, then just make the move to just try and move out. Going back to university, and it's like I said, it's been 3 years since I actually graduated from my degree, and I did have a period where I thought I had my dream job. That's when I moved to Thailand. I actually got a job because I did textile design at university. I got a job doing textile design, and it was weaving, and I thought, wow, this is it, like I'm okay now. But unfortunately that job ended up not being the one for me, so I moved home after 3 months, and then after that I was in like, I don't want to say depression because I wasn't like, you know, diagnosed, or it wasn't like a clinical depression sort of thing, but I did not feel myself. All my confidence went, all my self-belief went, and so for like a year I just felt like my lack of, it's crazy how much that experience like really affected my confidence in myself, but it really did. And it's only sort of like now in the past year that I'm sort of getting back to myself pre going to Thailand, and it feels so nice to like sort of start to feel myself again. But for like a whole year I just didn't feel good at all. I felt really shit because going back to them 3 points, I was still at home, I was looking for a job, I didn't really know what I was going to do, if I was going to get a job in my degree, or if I was going to like be successful at all. I thought I'm going to be a bum. Like I'm not going to be doing anything good. And for a while that did really get to me. And then obviously leading up to being 25, that did sort of ease off a little bit, and I just thought, well, I am sort of working towards things actively. So when it's just about a change of perspective, isn't it? It's about like realising that actually you are okay. You're 25, but just because you're 25 doesn't mean you automatically have to have your life together and that people are going to look at you in a certain way, because that's not true at all. Because a lot of people are in the same position. But it is difficult when obviously you go on social media and you see people that are younger than you so much more successful than you, and you're like, oh fucking hell. Like I say, you can't compare yourself, you're on your own journey, aren't you? So you just got to like keep pushing through, and if you're happy living at home, if you're happy in whatever job you've got, if you're happy not driving, whatever it is, then that's absolutely fine, amazing. But for me, I know that they are things that I want to achieve, so I am actively working towards them. At the moment as well, I feel like even though I do still feel really young still, there are sort of aspects of myself where I know that I'm sort of leveling up, if that makes sense. So in terms of like my self-belief, my self-confidence, I am working on them at the moment, because I can't keep going through life feeling like I don't deserve anything, or I'm not good enough to do anything, or whatever it is. But again, I do feel like that does come with age a little bit. If you're fortunate enough to just have that like that self-belief and self-worth from like a young age, that's that's amazing for you. But for some people like myself, sometimes it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of like work in order to get to that place. So I actually feel really good at the moment. I am 4 months off of being 26, but it does make me feel anxious, I'm not gonna lie. Because I feel like 26 is just like, 25 is one thing, but 26 is just another like step up, and it's just, I'm not quite ready for that just yet. But I do feel like I am sort of getting there with my mindset and my perspective and how I view life and how I view myself, and it does feel really good to think like that. So yeah, I really wanted to do these videos just because I used to do YouTube when I was like 18 and it's something that I've always wanted to come back to and start doing again. And like I said, when I turned 25 I did want to do this series of like the whole year, but shit happens and I don't know why I didn't start it, but I didn't start it, so I'm doing it now. And that's another thing about sort of self-belief and your self-worth and how you think about yourself, because for so long, and I still do it now, I'll be honest, like I'll say that I'm going to do something and then I just won't do it. And I didn't realise until maybe like 6 months ago that by you doing that, you're reinforcing to yourself that you are not going to show up for yourself, that you're not going to do these things that you say that you're going to do. And like, even though it frustrates you so much in the moment, you think, oh, you're such an idiot, like why haven't you done it again? And then the next day you say to yourself, right, okay, I'm going to do it today, and then you just don't do it. And it's like, how can you trust yourself and have like self-confidence and self-belief if you're constantly not showing up for you when you want to do these things. So I'm actively trying to like implement things into my life and create habits. I do show up for myself, and I do sort of give myself that trust and self-belief to say like, you actually can do these things, and you are an adult and you can make sort of decisions. So it's one of them things that's just like actively trying to work on yourself, rather than just thinking, well, I'm okay, like you just go through day-to-day life and not really like try and improve yourself. So I guess this video is just about like me talking about my self-improvement, or me trying to self-improve, and because I don't want to carry these like limiting beliefs and actions into being 26. Like, it's just not, I'm just not having it. I'm over it. So, but it is difficult. Like, even this past week, I work in a contact centre, and I'm like constantly on the phones. It's customer service, constantly on the phones, looking at screens all day, every day. And I wear glasses as well, and I'm also prone to migraines. So I've had a migraine this past week, right? And I know that it's because either I'm not drinking enough, which I do think I drink a lot, but obviously not enough. And I don't ever eat breakfast in the morning, because I don't give myself enough time to get up and eat breakfast, because I'm always pushing it to the last minute, and then I'll get up and then I'll just get dressed and then rush out the door, and I've not even had a drink before I've left the house. Like, how bad is that? I'm not taking care of myself in that way. So this past week I've made like a really big effort just to get up, have your breakfast, have a glass of water, and then go. The other point that I wanted to make was I don't want to call it acne, because I don't feel like it is that bad, but I do get spots. I don't know if you can see them at all on my skin, but I do get spots, and I've had spots for like most of my life, like teenager. Definitely had loads of spots, like hormonal spots on my head and everything, everywhere. And it's only been in the past sort of year, maybe a year and a half, that I've gotten, because there was a period before then that my skin was quite good, but now I seem to have I'm getting all the spots. So I'm cutting out cheese at the moment, and dairy. I've bought oat milk instead of regular milk to see if that affects my skin. I'm also trying to like figure out what skincare is good for me and my skin. At the moment, wearing masks isn't helping at all, because I'm getting a lot of spots like on my chin and like my cheek area, but my forehead is quite good and it's quite smooth. So I'm thinking that the masks aren't doing many favours in that, but we have to wear them, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm just trying to like improve. And another thing that I just do not do is I do not do any exercise at all. Like, at all. Like, I'll walk to the bus station, because obviously I have to get the bus to work because I don't drive. Which is, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but the only sort of exercise that I do is walk into town, and then I'll probably get the bus from town home on the way back, because I'll be tired at that point. But during quarantine, when things were sort of in the midst of it, the company that I work for provided free taxis for everybody to get to work. So at that point I wasn't doing any walking and obviously no exercise, and my body just felt so shit. Like, I really felt that I just needed to do movement, and even then I didn't do anything. Even then, with like getting a taxi to work, I had more time, because it only took half an hour in the car, whereas it would take me an hour and a half walking and then getting the bus to work. So that was a bit shit actually. I felt it in my body and like in my mind as well, like how much not having that 20-minute walk really affected my body. So that really showed me how much I do need to exercise and I do need to have movement in my life. Even from then, I haven't like done any exercise, I haven't done any yoga, and a lot of that is down to me thinking that I don't have enough time after work or before work and being tired when I get home. But in the back of my mind, I know that if I was to do a bit of exercise, like half an hour, 20 minutes, I probably would feel a little bit more energised. So that's something that I really want to try and implement as well, just doing like 3 bits of exercise a week. And I love yoga, so one day I do yoga, one day I do like cardio, and then one day I do like weights. That's like what I'd like to do. So I'm really going to try and implement that into my life as well. And then hopefully that will come full circle, and hopefully that will aid me to feel a little bit more positive in my mindset as well. So it's all good things, and I just need to make sure that I am doing them all, and then I think my well-being and mindset, like I've been saying, will improve more than it has already done. So yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think I am a bum. I don't think you're a bum either, whatever stage you are at in your life. If you're 25 like me and you feel like you've not hit these accomplishments or goals that you sort of set yourself previously, or anybody else set yourself, don't feel bad about it. Just try and work towards your goals every day and you'll get there eventually. But I just want to say, it does feel a little bit like silly for me to be talking about this and sort of not moaning, but you know, the explosion that happened in Beirut in Lebanon is fucking devastating, and everything going on with the coronavirus pandemic across the world and how it's affecting everybody, and the Black Lives Matter movement and all these other like crises in the world that we all sort of are becoming more awake to through social media and everything like that. I feel like that's what's important at the moment, but at the same time, if you need to, you know, for you to be a good contribution to society and to be a good person, I feel like you do need to do this work to be able to sort of give back. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Not to give back to people, but to be the best you that you can be to the world and to the society. I still thought it would be a good idea to do this video even with everything going on. And just hopefully, like I said, if you're 25 as well, then hopefully this might make you feel a little bit better, because I know I felt so shit about myself at one point, and now I'm starting to like come out of that and realise that I'm just a person, I'm just a young adult navigating through my life, and you don't have to have all the answers. So yeah, if you would like to join me on my last 4 months of being 25 and seeing what I can accomplish within that time, please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to subscribe if you want to join me on my journey navigating through life at 25. And also, if you're driving and you're 25 as well, I'm also going to be doing a series talking about that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching if you did watch.